What's happening, party people? My name's Robert, and welcome to Throwback Thursday. Throwback Thursday is basically a remix of a successful video, very popular video that I posted years ago, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to remix it, clean it up, and make it even better so that you can benefit from it. And it's an easy to follow video to help you diagnose things going on with your car. Now, this video in particular was designed and produced to help you figure out why your car is not starting. Now, there's two sides of a no start condition on a car. Number one, you have a vehicle that's not cranking. If a vehicle's not cranking, it's not going anywhere out of the start gate. Usually you have a bad battery or a bad starter. This video will show you how to determine which one of those things is gone bad in the event that one of those things is bad. 95% of the time, if you have a no crank situation, you have a bad battery or a bad starter, something in between, cable connection loose, something like that. Really easy to diagnose and will save you a lot of time, frustration. The other aspect, the other side of that coin of a no start condition is understanding what will make your vehicle start. Now, this video is designed to teach you how to troubleshoot a traditional car, a car that you put gas in, a car with spark plugs, stuff like that. You check oil with, not none of these new electric cars or hydro cars or something like that. Your normal combustion engine car, this video will tell you and show you how to diagnose a no start condition. People get some things mixed up. You have cranking and turning over. Those are the same thing. You have a no crank, no turning over, which is a dead car, which goes to the other side of the coin. Now, for your car to start and run, it needs 5 things. It needs proper amount of air, proper amount of fuel, compression, timing, and ignition, which is spark. If your car is getting all 5 of those things, it has to run, plain and simple. If it's not getting one of those things, it won't run. So if your car is not starting or running, it's missing one of those things. It's easy to check for spark. If your car is not getting spark, there could be several things wrong with it that will stop it from getting spark. If your car is not getting fuel, there's only a couple things that will stop it from not getting fuel. If it's not getting the proper amount of air, only a few things will stop it from getting the proper amount of air. Timing is a fixed item. If it has timing or not is a basic thing. And then compression. Your car would have to lose compression across almost every cylinder in order not to start. So there's this thing we call lawnmower syndrome that can stop your car from getting compression across the board, and that will cause it not to start. One bad cylinder, one bad valve or something like that will usually not stop a car from starting and running. It'll run rough, but it will run. So if compression has anything to do with it, you've lost compression across all your cylinders. A good thing, I have detailed instructional videos in the description area of this video to help you professionally diagnose those issues. Very basic, simple to follow videos. So if you find out you don't have something or you want to check something, check the description area, click those links, and off you'll go to solving or at least figuring out why your car is not starting and running. Without further ado, let's get started. And if for some reason you need to contact me directly, there's a clip at the very end of the video that tells you how to get in touch with me. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. In this video, I'm going to walk you through some no start conditions. First thing that you have to decide is, do I have a cranking or a no cranking condition? That's the proper term. If a car is cranking or not cranking is very simple to determine. Cranking means that when you turn the key, the motor is turning over, but it's not starting. Not cranking means when you turn the key, you either hear a click or you hear nothing. That means that the car's not cranking. I'm going to go ahead and turn the key on this car and determine if it's cranking or if it's not cranking. On this example, the car is cranking. Let's assume that the car is not cranking and go from there. There's only going to be a couple things that's wrong. If a car is not cranking, you have one or two problems. Number one, you have a dead or weak battery. Number two, you have a bad or dead starter. If the battery is weak, what may happen is you may turn the key, the lights may come on, and when you try to start it, it may not start. Let's look at that. I turned the key on, run. I didn't try to start it. You see all the lights. I try to start it, the lights stay on or they go weak. If I hear a click, that means the starter tried to engage. If I don't hear no click, the battery is probably so weak that it didn't even try to engage the starter. Now, if you're dealing with a car that won't crank, that's probably the best scenario. Because if the car is not cranking, you probably have a bad battery, and that's the best scenario. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're going to try to troubleshoot and repair your vehicle yourself, there's just things you're going to have to invest in, and these things will save you money for many years. The first thing you want to do if you have a no crank situation is test the battery. One of these battery testers is the best that I've ever had and used. I keep it and use it all the time. Put it on there, test the battery, very easy process. The next thing that I carry in the car everywhere I go, because I don't jump other people with my car, I keep one of these jump boxes. The battery tester is about 30 bucks. This jump box is probably about 60, 70 bucks. They will save you time and money over the years. And if you have a no crank situation, just put the jump box on, see if that helps. If your battery is not testing good, you likely are trying to test it with your cables connected to the cable of the battery. So you want to grab the battery cable and try to wiggle it to make sure that the battery cables are tight. If the battery cables are not tight, that could be your problem. Tighten them up. If they are tight and you don't have good voltage, then just take your battery out, take it down to the auto parts store and get it charged, or purchase yourself a battery charger and charge it up yourself. Having one yourself, good ones cost about $100. You can charge your own battery, move on with life. If you don't have a battery charger or you don't want that equipment, just take it to the auto parts store. They usually will do it for free. If the battery's bad, they'll confirm the battery's bad and try to sell you one. If your battery is testing good and you still have a no crank situation, you could have a problem with either power getting from the battery to the starter or a problem with the starter itself. Now, your positive battery cable leaves your battery and goes directly to the starter. If you can reach your starter, you can test your starter by getting an inexpensive ohm meter, setting it to the battery setting, and seeing if power is reaching the starter. In this next clip, I'll show you how to see if your power is getting to your starter. You have constant power to the main post on the starter, and you have cranking power to the starter from a wire hooked to the Bendix. So you can test both of those. You use this process I'm about to show you, but you will need some help in testing that. You'll need somebody to crank the car or try to start the car while you're holding the tester on the sensing wire to the Bendix. Ground cable for the tester grounded out on the frame of the body of the car. I got my meter set to read battery voltage. Now I'm going to take my positive one down to the positive on the starter, and when I hit that, I come up here and look at my gauge. It looks like I have good battery voltage going to it. Now the only other thing is, since this is directly connected to the battery, I know I got the direct battery juice that I had at the battery. So now I need to test the other wire on the starter. And if you see down there, that other wire on the starter has a little green wire going to it. If you put your multimeter positive test lead on that green wire connector and somebody turns the key to the start position, you should get power to that green wire. So if I put my tester on it now, I won't get anything. If somebody turns the key on and tries to start the car, it should get power to it momentarily while they hold the key. If you get voltage to that green wire when somebody turns that key on and that voltage is good, that means your starter is likely bad. You're going to have somebody help you with that, but that's how you test the starter. Just one quick time, just to be clear. If you do not have cranking, so the car is not cranking, you either got a battery problem or more than likely a starter problem. And that's how you test to make sure if your battery is strong enough and your starter is getting the right signals. So if it's anything other than that, you could have several other problems, but those are your two main likely problems if you have no cranking. Now let's move on to the more complex side, and that is if the car is cranking but it's not starting and running. Now a car needs 5 basic things to start and run. Number 1, it needs air. Number 2, it needs spark. Number 3, it needs fuel. Number 4, it needs compression. And number 5, it needs timing. So I'm going to cover those in that order and try to determine which one of those things you have a problem with. I'm going to link examples of how to check those things on this video. So if you want to go in depth in checking, click on the links and I'll just walk you through talking about how to do it on this video. The first thing is air, which is pretty much a given. The only way a car would have problems getting air to start is if you got some massive manifold leak or somebody's done some work that messed something up that it's not getting the correct amount of air. But if it all of a sudden stopped running and air is an issue, you probably have a bad mass airflow sensor that runs along your air box, right behind your filter normally. And if you have a problem with that, you normally have a check engine light code. So trying to never drive around with check engine lights, because when new codes pop up, it doesn't flash a different color letting you know you got a new code. So you might want to get your engine scanned to see if you got a code for a bad mass airflow sensor. But if you disconnect the battery or the battery goes dead, it will erase those codes. So don't let those codes get erased, and check it to see if you have a mass airflow sensor problem. Another issue your vehicle may have with air is if it's a turbo car. And turbo cars have extra air piping going from the turbo to the intake manifold. You want to check those tubes very closely to see if any of them have come loose. If they've come loose, it's a major air leak, and your car may start but not run smoothly or not run properly, and it may die right away. So check your air tubes on your turbo system very closely. The number 2 issue that I mentioned is spark. If something's wrong with the car and it's not getting spark, it won't start. So you have to check that. In order to check it, you have to pull a spark plug and hold the threads of the spark plug against a metal part of the engine, a part of the motor or ground or something like that, and have somebody crank it. If it's sparking, you see little ticks of spark every few seconds, you know you have spark. If it's not sparking, you know you have a problem with the car getting spark. So if you want to learn how to check spark better, go ahead and click this link. But you have to make sure the car's getting spark. If it's not getting spark, it's either got a bad distributor, it's got a bad coil, it could have a bad cam sensor, it could have a bad crank sensor, but you need to know if the car is getting spark. Number 3, you have to make sure that the car has fuel or fuel pressure. To do that, you might want to listen to see if you can hear the fuel pump turn on whenever you go to start the car. Now, on my car, when I turn the key to on, the fuel pump primes the system to pressurize the fuel injectors and stuff. So when I turn the key on, I can hear the fuel pump hum for about 2 or 3 seconds. Also, when I'm trying to start the car, it's too noisy, but the fuel pump's running again, and when I let the key go, if the car does not start, I can hear that fuel pump run for 2 or 3 more seconds, and then it'll shut off. You gotta check for fuel pressure. On this car, one way I could check, the fuel line comes in here, the fuel rail goes across, and here I have a little Schrader valve at the end of my fuel rail. I could push in the end of that Schrader valve and see if fuel comes out. Normally I'll need to do that with a little screwdriver or something, and that'll tell me if I got fuel pressure. But when the car's been sitting a little while, the fuel pressure bleeds off on this one. So check to see if you can hear the fuel pump and check to see if you got fuel pressure. Let's see if we can hear the fuel pump. Okay, I'm in the car. I got the seatbelt fastened. I'm trying to make it as quiet as possible. I'm going to turn the car on and see if you hear the fuel pump turn on for a couple of seconds. I don't know if you heard it, but I heard the fuel pump come on for about 4 or 5 seconds. Let me try that one more time. I'm going to put the phone closer to the fuel tank so you can try to hear it. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit the starter, and you should hear it after the car tries to start. The fuel pump ran about 4 or 5 seconds. I'm going to go out and see if there's any fuel in the end of that Schrader valve. I tried to start the car, it didn't start. I'm going to push in this Schrader valve, and as you can see, fuel came out of the end of the Schrader valve. That's probably an indication that I got some fuel pressure, and you can link to the video on how to check the fuel pump and jump the fuel pump relay, that test that I did before. Number 4 is timing. There's 2 different ways you could check for timing on these Volvos. Other cars may be a little more difficult, but on Volvos it's kind of easy, but it may be this easy for other cars. Now, if you open the oil cap, because this is an overhead cam car, you got 2 cams, one here and one here. If you look down in the hole, you can actually see the cam. If you look in there, you can see the metal thing that goes across and some shiny parts. If somebody goes in the car right now and tries to crank the car up, that cam will be turning. That lets me know that the timing belt is turning the cams. If that's not turning, there's a good chance that the timing belt's broke. Another thing you could do on these Volvos or any other car is take the timing belt cover off. Down under here, about 8 inches, is a bolt on the front of the timing belt cover. Can't quite see it here, but it's like a 10mm bolt. You can reach your hand down there and feel it. You take that bolt out and you open up this cover. I think I have a video that I linked to, but you get the cover off where you can see the belt. If the belt looks loose or broken, or there's a roller in there that's damaged, you don't have timing. So if you don't have timing, the car won't start because it needs timing to crank up and be in rhythm. Also, if you got a crank sensor or your cam sensor, it'll detect if you have a timing problem, and it won't let the motor start if it thinks the timing is off. So if you got a broken timing belt, your car won't start. For the sake of this video, last but not least, you need to check compression. If for some reason you don't have compression, either you have a blown head gasket, or your timing belt jumped and busted some valves, or you got a burnt valve, or your car threw a rod, anything along those lines, it will affect compression. Normally, if you have compression bad in one cylinder, the car will still start. So if you have a burnt valve, the car normally starts, but it runs real rough. If you have a thrown rod or something, the car will probably start, it'll just run real rough, because the other four or three or however many cylinders you have will be running fine. Now if you got a 4-cylinder car and one of them's bad, it may not run. But 5 or more, it'll likely run with one bad cylinder. But if your car's not starting, you're going to need to do a compression test, and here's a link to a quick compression test video. So there you have it. If you have a no start, those are your 5 likely culprits. Now, if you have a problem that you have all these elements in place and the car is still not starting, you have another issue that you have to dig into. So there you have it. Your car is either cranking or not cranking. If it's not cranking, check your battery, check your starter. If it's anything other than that, send it to a mechanic to have a mechanic figure it out. If it's cranking but not starting or running, then you need to check those 5 things: proper air, fuel, spark, timing, and compression. It's just that simple. So diagnose it, figure out which one of these items is wrong. If it's not getting spark, it could be a computer, it could be a sensor, it could be a ground. Those are the things that primarily control spark. If it's not getting fuel, it could be a sensor, could be a bad fuel pump, could be a bad relay. It's just stuff that needs to be diagnosed. But the main thing that you need to figure out is what's missing, so you can dig deeper on why that particular portion of the formula is missing. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it helped. If you need to contact me directly, check out the information at the end of the video. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining, so go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message, or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the more link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.